If you're a frequent traveler or planning your next big adventure, you need to know about the new passport renewal changes. Imagine this. You no longer have to wait months for a passport renewal. That's right. The US government has made significant updates that could save you time, money, and stress. But how does it work? And what does it mean for you? In this video, we'll break down these shocking changes and show you why they matter more than ever. Chapter 1. The Passport Revolution. What you need to know now. If you've ever found yourself frantically trying to renew your passport before a big trip, you know the struggle. Waiting weeks or even months for your passport to arrive can throw off your travel plans. But guess what? The passport renewal process is about to change, and for the better. This new policy is shaking things up in a way that every traveler should be paying attention to. The first major shift? Speed. Renewing your passport used to be a slow, frustrating process. With the new rules, travelers can expect faster processing times. The U.S. Department of State has been working hard to address long delays, and it seems like they've finally nailed it. In fact, the new processing times could cut your wait down by as much as 40%. This means no more stressing about missing your flight because you're stuck in passport limbo. This change comes at a perfect time, especially for those who are frequent travelers or digital nomads. A new study shows that 10% of U.S. passport holders plan to travel internationally at least 3 times in the next 2 years. The quicker you can renew your passport, the more trips you can take. Simple as that. One of the best parts? The new policy eliminates some of the hurdles you used to face with documentation. It's simpler than ever to gather everything you need. The process has been streamlined, cutting down on red tape and paperwork. This means fewer headaches when you're preparing your documents. Just fill out the online form, pay, and wait for the magic to happen. If you're concerned about costs, the good news is that the changes might actually save you money. With faster processing times, you'll avoid expensive rush fees that can pile up if you're in a pinch. Plus, certain government fees are being adjusted to make the whole renewal process more affordable. Now, here's a statistic that might surprise you. Nearly 50% of travelers forget to renew their passport in time for their trip. With this new process, it's much easier to stay ahead of the game and make sure you're always prepared for your next adventure. Chapter 2. Your passport, your power. Streamlined renewals for busy travelers. Think about it. Your passport is more than just a travel document. It's your gateway to the world. So, what if you could get that powerful little book back in your hands faster than ever before? That's what the new passport renewal policy promises. This change is designed with busy travelers in mind. Whether you're an entrepreneur constantly hopping between countries or a wanderlust-driven explorer, the faster you can renew your passport, the better. Imagine not having to wait 6 weeks to get your passport back in your hands. Instead, you can expect a much quicker turnaround time. One of the most significant aspects of this change is the elimination of unnecessary visits to passport offices. You can now handle almost everything online. Fill out forms, pay your fees, and even submit your photo digitally. This is a huge win for travelers who hate the hassle of making an appointment and waiting in long lines. The best part? It's available to all eligible U.S. passport holders. So, whether you're renewing for the first time or updating your passport after a few years, the process is faster, easier, and more efficient. For those traveling internationally, this is a game changer, especially if you're working on tight schedules. To put things into perspective, the U.S. State Department processes more than 18 million passports every year. The new system is designed to handle this high volume efficiently, ensuring that you won't get lost in the shuffle. According to data, the new system has already cut processing times by more than a third, and it's expected to continue improving. Many experts agree that this streamlined process will lead to more spontaneous travel. In fact, the number of people taking last-minute trips has skyrocketed. According to a recent survey, 35% of travelers book their trips with just a few weeks' notice. With passport renewals moving faster, those impromptu adventures are no longer out of reach. In a world where time is money, the quicker turnaround is vital. More people can now manage their travel without dealing with unnecessary delays. So, if you're a regular traveler, this could save you countless hours every year, leaving you with more time to explore. Chapter 3. No more waiting. Say goodbye to the old passport backlog. We've all heard the horror stories of passport backlogs. Long waits, rushed renewals, and missed flights. It's enough to make anyone's heart race. But this new passport renewal policy is here to change all that. The U.S. State Department has been working overtime to address the passport delays that plagued travelers for years. One of the key updates is the introduction of a more efficient online tracking system. This system allows you to track your passport's journey every step of the way. No more guessing when it will arrive, you'll always know the status. This transparency is a breath of fresh air. According to a report from the Department of State, wait times for renewals have been dramatically reduced. In fact, it's expected that most passport renewals will now be processed within just 3 weeks, as opposed to the months-long delays of the past. In addition to cutting down on waiting times, the new system also helps eliminate mistakes. The fewer steps you have to take, the less chance there is for error. Travelers will be less likely to miss important details on their application, leading to fewer rejections and delays. Let's take a closer look at the impact. In 2024, over 10 million people applied for a passport for the first time. The new policy helps manage this huge volume by introducing an improved application system that prioritizes efficiency and accuracy. These changes aren't just about speed. They also focus on increasing access to passport services, especially in underserved areas. This is a major win for those living in rural regions who used to struggle with limited passport office access. For travelers who've had to deal with the frustration of last-minute renewals, this policy change is a relief. Imagine being able to renew your passport online, then pick it up at your nearest post office within a matter of weeks. This eliminates long-distance travel to passport agencies and makes the entire process more convenient. Ultimately, this shift in policy is a big win for travelers, but it's also a sign of what's to come. The government is clearly focused on improving efficiency and adapting to the demands of a modern, fast-paced world. Travel is evolving, and your passport is becoming a tool you can rely on without the stress. Don't forget to subscribe for more travel tips and updates on these groundbreaking passport changes. Chapter 4. The hidden perks of the new passport rules. More than just speed, when you hear about changes to the passport renewal policy, speed is usually the first thing that comes to mind. But there are hidden perks to this new system that you might not expect. Let's take a closer look at some of the lesser-known advantages. For starters, cost-saving benefits could make a big difference. With the faster processing times, you'll no longer need to rush your application and pay for expedited services. Previously, paying for expedited processing could cost up to $60 extra. Now, the quicker processing could save you that fee without sacrificing speed. Another surprising perk is that the policy will make it easier for U.S. passport holders to renew passports while living abroad. For the nearly 9 million Americans living overseas, this is a huge deal. Now, passport renewals can be completed with fewer visits to consulates, which can be a hassle depending on your location. Perhaps most exciting is that the new rules could lead to longer passport validity. While the standard passport was typically valid for 10 years, the policy change might allow for a potential 5-year renewal option. This is great for those who may not want to commit to a decade-long validity, or for those who travel more frequently and need a passport that lasts just a bit longer between renewals. In addition to saving money and time, this policy is designed to reduce the stress of international travel. One study found that nearly 25% of travelers report losing sleep over passport issues before trips. With the new system, you can rest easier knowing that your renewal process will be more predictable. But it's not just about convenience and savings. The government has also focused on security. New passport designs include additional security features to protect against identity theft and fraud. So while you're getting your passport faster, you're also ensuring that it's more secure than ever. The new system is also more accessible. With more options for online processing, it's easier for those who may have difficulty with in-person visits to handle their passport renewals from home. In the past, this process was daunting for people with disabilities or those living in remote areas. Now, the playing field has been leveled. One interesting fact? The U.S. State Department has actually been running tests on the new system for years, ensuring it can handle the load of millions of travelers. As a result, it's expected to run smoothly without the glitches often associated with big government changes. So, while the headline news may be about speed, it's the combination of perks like cost savings, better security, and improved accessibility that make this renewal policy a game changer for travelers everywhere. Chapter 5. Global Travel, Simplified. How these changes affect your adventures. The world is more connected than ever, and global travel is on the rise. According to the World Tourism Organization, international tourist arrivals reached 1.5 billion in 2019. With these new passport changes, traveling to any corner of the globe is becoming simpler and more accessible. One of the biggest changes is how these new rules open up opportunities for spontaneous travel. Gone are the days when renewing a passport took months. Travelers no longer need to plan their trips around waiting for a passport to arrive. This means that spur-of-the-moment vacations or last-minute business trips are within reach, even for people with tight schedules. More efficient renewals are also making it easier for those with busy lifestyles to travel internationally. The new policy is designed with working professionals in mind, especially those who often need to travel for business. A recent survey revealed that 60% of business travelers find passport issues to be one of their top travel stressors. With the new system, many of those headaches will be gone. Additionally, this change could affect which destinations become more popular. With passports being renewed quickly, travelers will likely be more inclined to visit far-off locations, where passport requirements used to be a major barrier. Countries with complex visa processes will no longer feel as intimidating, and more people will feel empowered to explore places they might have once overlooked. Not only will this impact business trips, but it also opens up new possibilities for vacationers. For instance, emerging markets like Southeast Asia and South America are seeing a surge in tourism. The new passport rules make it easier to go to places that may require a little more paperwork or complicated logistics. But it's not just about convenience. The policy could help boost local economies, especially in popular tourist destinations. With more people traveling, the demand for travel-related services like hotels, guides, and excursions will increase. This could have a positive effect on the global economy, especially in regions that rely heavily on tourism. The quicker passport renewals will also impact the travel industry as a whole. Airlines and travel companies can now better predict when their customers will be able to travel, making it easier for them to offer last-minute deals and promotions. This flexibility can drive down prices, allowing more people to travel and see the world. This policy shift is also great for long-term travelers or digital nomads who often need their passports renewed while abroad. The new rules simplify the process, making it easier to keep your passport up to date without returning home. And with the ability to renew online, digital nomads can avoid unnecessary trips to the embassy, saving time and money. Chapter 6. Is this the future of travel? What's next for passport innovation? With the implementation of these new passport renewal policies, one thing is clear: this could be the future of travel. But where does it go from here? Could this be just the beginning of passport innovation? Some experts think that these changes could set the stage for even more exciting updates. For example, we might soon see digital passports, a development that would completely eliminate the need for physical documents. Imagine carrying your passport on your phone, just like any other digital identification. There's also talk of introducing blockchain technology to enhance passport security. Blockchain's ability to provide secure, decentralized data storage could make passports even harder to forge. This would offer a whole new level of protection for travelers, making international travel even safer. One key trend that will likely follow is increased automation in the renewal process. Already, the government is exploring ways to streamline passport processing even further, using AI and other technologies to cut down on human error and increase processing speed. This could lead to passport renewals that are completed in as little as 24 hours. But it's not just about making things faster and more secure. The future of passports might also mean more personalized travel experiences. With biometrics and AI integration, passports could one day serve as more than just travel identification. They could become part of a broader system that tailors the entire travel experience to your needs. For instance, imagine arriving at a foreign airport and being automatically checked into your hotel with just a facial scan. Your passport could be integrated into a global database that instantly confirms your identity and travel preferences, creating a smoother experience from start to finish. As travel becomes more digital and efficient, we might even see borders becoming less rigid. With the right technologies, crossing borders could become as simple as stepping through a door, without needing to wait in long lines. The key takeaway is that these changes are just the tip of the iceberg. As travel becomes more streamlined, we can expect continuous improvements in how we move around the world. The future is bright for global travel, and with passport innovation leading the way, we're only scratching the surface. Don't forget to subscribe for more travel tips and updates on these groundbreaking passport changes.